Hi, thanks for tuning in, and here is another episode with I Mentor Cloud, and it's in continuation with previous video where I have talked about those people who are coming with no IT experience should look into ITF or IT Foundation course A plus, and now I'm covering Network Plus. And assumption is that you already have at least 6 months to 12 months of experience in IT. What it means, you already know experience, plus you already know good experience of operating system, basic computer network, how to install an operating system, and all that stuff. But this is course is specific more specialization towards the networking, and if you want, you can proceed more towards the certification. Even if not, the syllabus is very structured, and it has components or the area around networking concepts, infrastructure, what is network operations, network security, and how you're going to troubleshoot, and with what kind of tools. So when you talk about networking concepts, so you should know all the protocols basically. And the most common protocols, basically, there are 65,000 plus ports, but each and every port runs some protocols. For example, when you go to the internet, you use HTTP and HTTPS. So this is one of the protocol. So that's you need to know when you connect your computer on a network. There DHCP, it also has protocols. So there are like a number of very well-known FTP, SMTP, SSL, SSH, those kind of protocols, IMAP, SMTP. So these protocols you need to know, and then also need to know about the protocols type. For example, TCP versus UDP, transmission control protocol versus UDP, connectionless, connection oriented kind of a concept. And then you will learn about the different devices and what OSI layer do these devices work. And there are characteristics and on the routing and switching, which is good, but you may not want to put a lot of time on that because of the cloud. Most of the stuff is gone away. For example, you would not be doing any routing when it comes to the cloud. For example, if you're gonna go set up servers in Google, Azure, or AWS, so you're not gonna doing any BGP and routing and stuff, but it's good to learn. So at least you have sense when you set up those machines in the cloud. From background or theory, you should know it, but that usually happen on a traditional on-premise infrastructure when you are dealing with router and switches. In cloud is all software-defined network, but it's good to have and learn the concept around IP version 4, IP version 6, and on along those areas. And then you have to know about the IP ranges, virtual IP addresses, subnetting, how the address assignment works in DHCP through DHCP and all that stuff. And then there are different types of LAN concept. What is a MAN? What is a WAN? So those are the concepts are important. But pretty much you in today's world you do have a pretty much LAN and a Wi-Fi network most commonly used. But from theory point of view, you need to know all that stuff as well in that area. So once you're done with those concepts, there are some other areas. For example, how does DNS services work? For example, this is very, very important and key piece, which you will learn about a DNS and how the internet works. What are the MX record, CNAME, and all that stuff. Now, a little bit on the infrastructure side, because I want to keep this video short. Infrastructure, you're pretty much going to learn Ethernet, connection type, termination point, and all that stuff. And there will be some scenario where you will have some better idea where these devices can be used, like firewall switches, hub and bridges, and all that stuff. And there is some area around also virtualization and network storage technology, like NAS versus SAN. what is a virtual router, what is a hypervisor, which is pretty much used in every cloud. It's all virtualization. And then there's an area where, as you can see on the screen, which is network operations. And you will learn about how to set up the diagram in a visual diagram when you're setting up a network diagram. So you need to learn some of the symbols. So you could be doing some of those engineering tasks. So this is where it's going to help. But it's more of a theory stuff. And then there are some areas you'll have to do some remote access method, some VPN stuff. How do they work? What are they? And all that stuff. Network security, of course, you cannot ignore it. This is very important. So you need to understand what is the network security, what are different type of prevention tools available, or technology like badges, biometric, key fobs. How does it work? What are the different authentication and access control in network security? And how does it work? Basically, the how do you avoid common password? What the benefit of using file hashing? And what are the different type of attack, like email phishing attack, spoofing, brute force attack, and so on and so forth. Then the most important piece, everything is important, but again, network troubleshooting. So if you are going to work in support or network support, then you need to know why something is not working. As I told you in a previous video, internet breaks. If your printer is not working, then you need to collect the information, and based on that you need to identify the symptoms, and based on that you make your judgment and figure that out and fix that problem. So that's very important. Troubleshooting piece is really something you need to deliver at your job. And there are so many different tools which you may want to use. For example, packet sniffer, port scanner, protocol analyzer, some command-led items available on a typical operating system. So you need to use that. How does it work? All that stuff. So that's in a nutshell. This course is more specialized on the networking, and this will also help you if you want to be a system engineer, cloud engineer. These concepts are covered in those courses. Really build your foundation, taking your career to the next level. I hope this video was informative. I'll be putting more. Do check out my previous video and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.